The story of Amanda and Blessing didn't begin with jealousy or heartbreak. It began with laughter, innocence, and the promise of forever. In a small primary school in Lagos, where two little girls first crossed paths in the dusty schoolyard, sharing crayons and snacks under the warm African sun. Their fingers touched as they exchanged a shy smile, and in that moment, they silently agreed to be best friends, no matter what. Amanda was the kind of child people couldn't help but love. She had bright, curious eyes that seemed to sparkle even on rainy days, and a smile that could light up an entire classroom. She was fearless in kindness, helping anyone who needed it, whether shielding a younger child from bullies or lending her pencil to a classmate who had forgotten theirs. Teachers adored her. Classmates wanted to sit beside her. Even the school guards greeted her by name. And yet, it wasn't just her beauty or intelligence that made her shine. It was the generosity of her heart, the warmth in her laugh, the way she made everyone around her feel special. Blessing stood quietly beside her, ever observant, ever faithful. She was a little more reserved, a little more cautious, but she admired Amanda endlessly. Her confidence, her charm, her effortless way of making friends. To be Amanda's best friend was a badge she wore proudly. She loved it. And in many ways, she truly was the perfect companion. Yet, beneath the laughter and shared secrets, a faint whisper of envy occasionally slipped through. It was nothing intense at first, just a tiny, soft pinch in her chest. I wish I had what Amanda has. She never voiced it. She never let it show. She smiled, laughed, and played alongside Amanda as if her heart bore no shadows at all.
The years in primary school were filled with shared pencils, shared lunches, and long walks home. Their families became intertwined, visiting each other's homes for birthdays and school events. Teachers called them the twins, a label they wore with pride. When they transitioned to secondary school, Amanda's brightness intensified. She became a teenager whose beauty was natural and unassuming, whose confidence drew admiration without effort. Boys admired her, girls envied her, teachers entrusted her with responsibilities beyond her age. And Blessing, she grew too, but differently. Still pretty, still intelligent, but always in comparison. Standing next to Amanda, she felt the invisible shadow of her friend's glow. And yet she stayed. She remained by Amanda's side, always smiling, always loyal. Amanda, trusting as she always did, never noticed the cracks that began to form silently in Blessing's heart. Then life intervened. Amanda's father received a job transfer to Abuja. Their family packed up their Lagos home, and Amanda's childhood street became a memory. The day she left, she cried uncontrollably, hugging Blessing tightly. "I'll call you every day," Amanda whispered, tears streaming down her face. "I will too," Blessing replied, her own eyes glimmering with emotion, but hiding a pang of something more complex, something even she did not fully understand. Abuja became Amanda's new world. She navigated university, helped her mother manage a small shop, and continued to grow into a woman whose beauty and kindness radiated effortlessly. And there she met Emmanuel, a man whose calm strength and gentle heart matched her own. He did not rush. He watched her, listened to her, understood her. Their courtship was quiet, tender, and deeply affectionate. Eventually, they married, and Amanda's heart was full. On her wedding day, she shone with a joy that seemed to glow from within. Months later, life returned Amanda to Lagos, and with it, memories of childhood streets and old friends. It was then, unexpectedly, that a message arrived. "Amanda, is this really you?" It was Blessing. Amanda screamed with joy, her voice echoing down the apartment hallway. That night, they spoke for hours, laughing, sharing stories, recounting memories. Within days, they
Blessing,
met
is
in
this
person,
really
hugging
you?
as if no time had passed at all.
Wow.
For Amanda, it was as though a piece of her past had returned to make her whole again. But Blessing had changed. She was now married, had a child, and yet she did not share this with Amanda. Not out of malice at first, not exactly, but because she did not want Amanda to compare or to feel equal. She wanted Amanda to believe that her life was somehow still superior. And as Amanda spoke of her own marriage and happiness, something dark began to grow within Blessing. That tiny pinch of envy from childhood had transformed into heavy, pressing boulders of jealousy.
It began subtly. One afternoon, Amanda expressed excitement about wanting to start a family. Blessing's smile remained, but her eyes betrayed a flicker of concern, or something more sinister. "Amanda, don't rush," she said softly. "Pregnancy changes husbands." Amanda frowned. "But Emmanuel loves children." "Men pretend," Blessing insisted. "Once you are pregnant, their love, it shifts. They start misbehaving." Amanda hesitated. She trusted her friend. The next week, Blessing brought her a small bottle of pills. "Use this secretly. It will help," she said with a smile. Amanda accepted them, unaware of the danger she had invited into her home, and so began the quiet, invisible destruction of her marriage. Months became years. Amanda continued taking the pills, unaware. Emmanuel began to worry. Blessing, meanwhile, raised her own child, managed her household, and visited Amanda with carefully curated concern. All the while, envy smoldered silently, never resting, never sleeping. Eventually, Emmanuel discovered the pills, his face darkened with disbelief and heartbreak. Confronting Amanda, he demanded the truth. Amanda broke down, recounting Blessing's warnings and advice. Emmanuel was devastated, not at Amanda's actions, but at the betrayal of the friend she had trusted above all else. The doctor's words were merciless. The pills had caused irreparable damage to Amanda's womb. Her dream of motherhood, years of hope, laughter, and anticipation was gone. The pain was too heavy. Even Emmanuel, who loved her deeply, could not undo the scars in their life or their hearts. He eventually left, packing his belongings and stepping out of her life. Amanda was left with grief, emptiness, and shattered dreams. Blessing disappeared. She moved away with her family, leaving no apologies, no backward glances, no acknowledgement of the destruction she had caused. Amanda's days became grey and hollow. She cried, lost weight, and sank into despair. Slowly, over years, she rebuilt herself, learning to live alone, to find strength in solitude, and to forge a life from heartbreak. Her turning point came unexpectedly. At an orphanage, she met Mira, a quiet, gentle child with large eyes and a tender smile. The little girl reached for her hand, and Amanda felt a warmth, a sense of purpose she had long thought lost. She began visiting the orphanage regularly, reading to the children, playing games, helping them eat, and sharing in their laughter. Over months, a bond deepened between Amanda and Mira, and eventually, Amanda adopted her. The day Mira whispered, "Mommy," Amanda wept, not from pain, but from the overwhelming joy of finally being able to nurture, love, and protect a child as her own. Amanda learned something profound. Motherhood does not only come through pregnancy, and family is not defined solely by blood. Love has a power that transcends biology. Healing is possible even after betrayal and heartbreak. And finally, Amanda understood the ultimate lesson life had taught her. The devil does not always lurk in shadows or distant forests. Sometimes, the devil sits beside you, smiling, laughing, and pretending to be a friend. But even then, love, resilience, and compassion can rebuild a life, piece by piece, heart by heart. And Amanda did. She chose peace, she chose joy, and she chose love again.